Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I have something special for you, and this is going to be the installation video of the CROM PC Carbine Low-Rise Railed foregrip. If we take a closer look at this, we can see that it's got M-lock slots down the side on the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and on the top we have this Picatinny rail up here. Also, we have QD sling mounts on both fore and aft, and these are non-limiting, so the mount can, rotate the full way around inside of them. So to start, we're going to take our stock barrel assembly, and we're going to need to remove both the front and the rear sights on it. So for the rear sight, you can see it's got these two little hex screws here. We don't need to remove the one that adjusts the windage, only the one for the elevation. And to do that, we're going to be using a 1/16 hex, and we'll just loosen that up a little bit. Just enough so that we can slide this sight to expose this screw. Now we can take our T10 screwdriver and loosen both the rear and the front screws on both the rear and front sight. Now that the sights are removed, we can go ahead and take our 5/32 hex wrench and remove this bottom bolt holding the barrel to the handguard. And this bolt is captured, so the barrel assembly will release from the handguard, and this bolt won't fall out, but you will need to remove it, so just keep unscrewing it, unthreading it from the handguard, because we're going to use this later. Okay, so now that we have the stock foregrip and the sights off of our barrel assembly, we're going to go ahead and take this little mounting block over here, and we're going to slide that over the factory mounting block just like that. Now we can go ahead and take this assembly and place it into the handguard. So if you see this protrusion down here, this is going to align itself right in the slot at the rear of the handguard here. So we'll just take these two pieces, slide it together, make sure that goes in between. And just like that, they go together. Okay, now we can get to one of the most tricky parts of this install, and that is putting this spacer block in between the barrel assembly and the top of the rail here. So if you look at the top over here, what CROM has done is they've made all these cutouts so that this spacer block can align, and as you can see, right, I have it in the correct orientation with this small hole on the front and the larger one on the rear. And so to get this piece in there, what we're going to have to do is go in from the front on one of these slots, just slide it in there, and then maneuver that piece back here. Now I find that it helps if you take the end of the barrel and kind of push it upwards so that you have enough clearance to maneuver that piece. And once that piece is in there, you may need something like a pick or a small hex wrench in order to slide it back and forth till it aligns, and you get this small screw hole in the front aligned with this first hole up here so that we can secure it. So I've wedged that piece in there a little bit. I'm going to try and see if I can use a little hex wrench to kind of slowly push it back. It's going. And then from the top, I can actually try and use that same hex wrench and use it to lever this into position. Okay, so here's a closer look at that little piece. You can see it's supposed to stick out forward of the sight mounting base a little bit. So you can see over there it's protruding a bit, but all four cutouts on top have a hole in that spacer piece aligned with it. Okay, now we're going to secure the rail to that spacer block and also to the barrel itself. And I've laid out 4 screws here that come with the kit. In the installation orientation they go in. So if we start from like the front of the barrel, which is to the right, we're going to be using a longer 6x32 screw, and then we're going to alternate between a 6x48, another 6x32, and finally a 6x48 in the rear. Now these 6x32 screws, those will use a 7/64 hex, and the other two will use a T10, just like the original screws that secured the sight to the barrel itself. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting these through the top so that we can keep these parts secured. Now that all these screws are in, we can go ahead and set them to final torque. The 6x32 screws will be torqued to 10 inch-pounds, and the 6x48s will be 22. Now we can go ahead and take this bottom block and attach it to the bottom of the rail. Make sure that the takedown lever for it goes through this oblong slot down here. And then we can go ahead and take these screws using a 7/64 hex to fasten these two parts together. And then the final torque on these guys is also going to be 40 inch-pounds. So the last bolt we'll need to fasten for the bottom is the factory bolt that secured the barrel to the original handguard. And so we'll go ahead and take our 5/32 hex, tighten that down, and then this gets torqued to 65 inch-pounds. So this is the completed low-rise rail assembly. And if we grab our scale over here and place it on, this guy weighs 2 pounds, 8.4 ounces. So with that said, let's go ahead and mate this up to our receiver. And there you have it. That is the completed CROM PC Carbine with the low-rise rail. So this is my personal PC Carbine. As you can see, I have the CROM Low-Rise Rail on it, and it's a color match to my chassis. When I was making the video of the installation for this rail, I liked it so much, more so than the CROM that I had before, that I decided to buy one of these for myself. So here it is, freshly installed on the rifle, and I am looking forward to getting this out to the range.